Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to From the Sideline with Francis
and Peter, and today we're going to be talking about the college football season starting as well as the NFL season starting, and then maybe later we'll dive into the Mariners if we have time.
Thanks for listening to another episode. If you haven't already, please hit that follow button and listen to our previous episodes, and make sure you listen all the way through for the full experience of From the Sideline. Thanks so much for listening. All right, so we decided we're going to start off with some recent NFL news. Not too recent, we're a little late to it, but Dalvin Cook, as some people may know, got cut from the Minnesota Vikings unexpectedly. The Minnesota Vikings kind of had a powerhouse of an offense last year. Dalvin Cook, one of the key reasons for that, they decided to cut him. And he was picked up by the New York Jets, who have almost fully new offense. Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And they picked up some of the Packers guys like Allen Lazard and Randall Cobb. So, Peter, my question for you is, do you think that the Jets have the best offense in the NFL?
I do not know. I still think, there's just a lot of better teams out there. The Jets, you really don't know how Aaron Rodgers is going to do this year. And everyone's freaking out about Breece Hall. He's going to be so good. But coming off an ACL tear after your first year where you only played 10 or something games, you really don't know how good he's going to be. And he's probably not going to come back for the first 6 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And so I think Dalvin Cook, he's definitely past his prime. We saw that last year. So I don't think the Jets are, I'd say they're a top 5 offense, but top 1 or being the best offense in the entire NFL is kind of ridiculous considering Garrett Wilson is their wide receiver 1. He's great. But aside from that, they don't have as many weapons as, some of the other top offenses, like the Chiefs and other teams.
So you think you would have the Chiefs ranked over them?
Yeah, I would. Travis Kelce, he's pretty much ageless. He plays so good every single year. It's almost like he gets better. And when you have the best quarterback in the entire NFL, I just think you can't not put that offense in the top 5, even if they don't have the star receivers like other teams do.
Yeah, Peter makes a really good case there, but honestly, I do think they're going to have the best offense in the NFL this year. We've seen Aaron Rodgers' recent back-to-back MVP. People thought Ageberg was going to hold him down, but, really, he's been playing still at a elite quarterback level, even though he dropped off a little bit last year. Dalvin Cook has dealt with some injuries, which is why he wasn't really as good as he normally is last season. Honestly, I'm not even quite sure if he's past his prime. He could still be in his prime. He's most likely past his prime, though. And really, running back isn't really a problem with their team. We saw Breece Hall. He was, most likely going to be Offensive Rookie of the Year if injuries didn't hold him back there. And I think he's going to come back and play in even a better form, possibly. And you don't really have to worry about relying completely on Breece Hall in the run game when you just picked up Dalvin Cook as well. And going to the receiver weapons, Randall Cobb and Allen Lazard are 2 wide receivers that Aaron Rodgers has played with for a long time. So they're gonna have some built-in chemistry already. So I think maybe even though they're not maybe elite receivers, possibly not even above average, I think that they're a better option for Aaron Rodgers because of their already built-in chemistry than some other top-tier receivers like some above-average receivers. But I think there's definitely competition when it comes to the NFL. When you talk about offense-wise, but I think just based on weapons and star power and all that, I think I have the Jets projected to be the best offense. But you also have the Seahawks are also. I think they're going to have a top 5 offense for sure this year. I think they have one of the best wide receiver cores in the NFL, really good run game, picking up Zach Charbonnet, and then Geno Smith playing at an MVP level last year. So, yeah.
Just to piggyback off Francis here, I definitely agree with the Seahawks pick. I think they have so much potential in their offense if Geno plays up to the caliber that we saw last year, especially in the start of last year. And also all the rookies they have, Zach Charbonnet, he could be a star. Everyone knows that. And Jackson Smith and Jigba, that's debatably the best wide receiver core in the NFL. I definitely say it is. So I really think the Seahawks are a sleeper this year, even putting my bias aside. I think they're going to be one of the best offenses. Now we're going to be moving on to the Hall of Fame discussion. Obviously, doesn't get voting for another year, but we're just going to talk about our early predictions and who do you think is going to make it and who's not. So, Francis, my question for you is name one person that you think is a lock for the Hall of Fame next year, and name another person who you think is not quite going to get in, but you think they deserve it.
Yeah, I just want to say congratulations to all the 2023 first ballot Hall of Famers. I think it was Joe Thomas, DeMarcus Ware, and Darrelle Revis. All phenomenal players. But one guy I think is a lock next year is going to be Julius Peppers. The longevity that he's had in his career, he's been playing for a long, long time. Like I can remember him playing ever since I started watching football, and he was still playing even like 5 years ago. So Julius Peppers for sure I think is a first ballot lock. Just the longevity and the amount of success and the level he was able to do it for such a long time. I think Julius Peppers is a lock. One guy I think is close but won't make it is Andrew Luck. There's been a lot of discussion on Andrew Luck. I saw a video of Colin Cowherd saying that Andrew Luck is going to make it to the Hall of Fame, but, his career was just too short to say he could make the Hall of Fame. He had some success. The roster he had with that Colts team was really, really bad, and he was even able to lead them to like an AFC championship, which is just impressive. And, he's just a really smart guy, really talented guy. Everybody wishes they could have seen him succeed, but, he just ended his career short due to injury. So because of how short his career is, I'm going to pass on him being a Hall of Famer. Also, another guy I wanted to talk about was Brandon Marshall. When he was in his prime, he was an elite receiver, top 5 receiver type of guy. Everybody knows the name Brandon Marshall in the football world, but, he was a journeyman, which doesn't really put much into it. Like, it doesn't really take much away from him, per se, but he had no success whatsoever. I didn't even notice, but I just saw a clip of him in an interview, and he didn't even make the playoffs in his entire career, which is crazy to me. And, I just because of I think if you're a Hall of Famer, you have to have some success in the playoffs, and he didn't even get there, so I can't have him in the Hall of Fame. How about you, Peter?
I think, or for one of my guys that I think is a lock for the Hall of Fame this year, I have to say Antonio Gates. I mean, in my opinion, he's one of the best tight ends in NFL history. I mean, he's the definition of consistent. He was with Phillip Rivers his whole career. I mean, there were so many different tight ends that changed throughout his whole career, but he was just a rock. He was there the entire time, and so many Pro Bowls. I mean, I know he didn't win a Super Bowl or even go to one for that matter, but I still think he deserves it because of his consistency and just like consistently being good. And one of the guys that I think could make it, but I don't think they are, but they probably deserve it, is Jamal Charles. I mean, his prime in the early 2010s was insane. Like, I know some people, or Francis has seen highlights, I've seen highlights. I mean, he was insane, unstoppable, especially in the fantasy world. Just a great receiving back overall, but he never really had any success in the postseason, and his career wasn't that long. And so that's why I don't think he's going to get in. But if he did, I would not be mad about it.
Next on the agenda, I want to talk about the college football top 25 rankings. I can't say I was surprised to see UW in the number 10 slot of the rankings. I would have not been surprised if they were lower because of the disrespect that the college football world has on UW, but they played out of their minds last year, and I'm happy to see them this high at number 10. What are your thoughts, and what do you think UW can do with this season, Peter?
UW's potential is unmatched this season. Michael Penix coming back for another year. He's going to be even better. Their wide receiver core, Rome Odunze, Jalen McMillan, Jalen Polk. They have a bunch of depth at the receiver position. Taj Davis. Their offense is going to be top 3 in the country, in my opinion. And their defense will hold up. I know some people think it's really bad, think it's not even top 25, but Braylon Trice, the edge rusher, I think he's going to be a first-round pick. The defense is definitely solid, and it can hold its own, and the offense will be what powers UW through the whole season. So I think they will move up for the rankings this season. My prediction is probably 6. I think they're going to just miss out on the playoffs. However, there is the potential that Michael Penix goes back to the way he was playing at Indiana, and the Huskies maybe lose like 3 or 4 games, even more than that, which would be a huge disappointment, but it is a possibility. What do you think, Francis?
I pretty much agree with everything Peter just said there. I think UW should honestly be higher, but since they're in the Pac-12, they're not going to be as high as like LSU or Penn State and all those kind of teams. But moving into the Big Ten next season, we'll see what they can do there, hopefully a lot. But yeah, I do see them moving up in the rankings towards the end of the season, but I honestly and ultimately don't think they're going to be making the playoffs. If we win the Pac-12 championship, it's a different story. Do I think we will? Yeah, there's really a big chance we will. I think we're better than Utah and Oregon State for sure. It's just USC is a big challenge. And also, I think our roster is much better than USC. It's just Caleb Williams, the Heisman, possible back-to-back winner. So if we can beat out USC, I think we have a really good chance of making the playoffs, actually. So I actually agree with Peter. I just changed my mind there. Just the UW schedule is really easy. The only really ranked teams we're going to be playing is USC, Oregon State, and yeah, that's kind of it. So our schedule's pretty easy, so I don't really know if the voters will give us much credit. I'm looking at the teams ahead of us right now. I'd say we're better than Clemson for sure. I'd say we're better than Florida State, even though they have Jordan Travis. I'd say we're better than USC, to be honest. LSU is a different story. I don't think we're better than LSU. So I would have us at that 6 range. I think we're better than Penn State as well. So I would have us at that 6 range. I think UW is going to do great things this season.
Next, we're going to move on to our sleepers for the college football season. For me, I have Wisconsin. I mean, you got Luke Fickell coming over there from Cincinnati. His success was, honestly incredible over there, making the college football playoff in a group of 5 team. I think he's going to transform that team. And I also think they have some studs. Graham Mertz transferring away at Florida, where he did not look great. And you never know with these first-year quarterbacks. They could be great. And I think Braylon Allen, their running back, will carry their offense. I think he's going to be a first-round pick next year. This team is just going to be really solid. I think they have top 10 potential, maybe as far as top 8. But I don't think they're quite on that next level. But I think they're a very solid team, and they could win like 10 games or so. What do you think, Francis?
Honestly, for me, I see Texas doing really good this season. I really like Texas. I really like Quinn Ewers. I'm really rooting for him, former number 1 overall prospect. And, he just hasn't had that much success. He hasn't done terribly. But, he's earned the Texas starting job once again. And I think he's going to do really good. I honestly think Quinn Ewers is, a possible Heisman contender here. And I just think he's going to do great things. Honestly, I could see them getting into the college football playoffs if they go undefeated and, win the Big 12. I think they have a chance at the college football playoffs. I also really like Drake May out of UNC, so I think 21's a bit low for them. I think they can move up all the way to top 10 potential there. So if Drake May can do that, I think he can maybe steal that number 1 overall slot from Caleb Williams, maybe if he goes off. I don't know. But next up, I really want to talk about Mariners. The Mariners have had insane success recently, and it's the winningest month in franchise history, which I think is really insane. They went on multiple huge win streaks, and they've catapulted themselves from 10 games behind the Rangers to the division lead, which I didn't think was possible. Honestly, I know I mentioned to Peter during towards the middle of the season at the All-Star break. There's the way the Mariners are playing right now. There's no way that they're gonna make the playoffs. And I think Peter agreed with me. There was no hope for me as a Mariners fan that they were gonna make the playoffs. And now I was just thinking there's better luck next year, but they proved me wrong. The offense has been incredible. The pitching has been incredible. And Peter, I just want like your predictions. What's gonna happen and how they've been playing and all that.
This is just who the Mariners are. They go on a tear every single year during the middle of the season after the All-Star break. We saw it last year with that 14-game winning streak. And this year they've gone on 2 or 3, 8 or 9-game winning streaks. And they were down. They were almost like 8 games back in the wild card game, I think. And now they're probably going to win their division. I mean, it's kind of a toss-up at this point, but I think they got it. The Rangers are not playing very well, and the Mariners are playing super good at the perfect time. They're picking it up, and I just know they're going to really prove themselves. And because last year it was kind of their test run in the playoffs, first time in 20 years, but now I feel like this is their year where they could really go far and make it to the World Series even. I think they have that potential.
Yeah, I mean, maybe possible bias here. I got us as the favorites in the AL. I know we lost our recent series to Baltimore, but I think we have a much better roster than the Orioles. I think we have much better pitchers, much better bullpen. I just think we're better than the Orioles. I'm glad for their recent success that came out of nowhere, but the Mariners are just better. The NL is a different story. I think the Braves and the Dodgers are both better than the Mariners, but we'll tackle that once we get to the World Series. So I think the Mariners for sure, for me in my opinion, are the favorites to win the World Series as it stands right now. I think the offense needs to keep up and just gotta stay on our toes and keep this streak alive because the Rangers and the Astros are only like one game back still, so they could easily catch up and we could be left in the dust, possibly not even a wild card team anymore. So we just gotta keep this hot streak up and keep the offense going, keep the pitchers rolling, and I think the Mariners are possibly the best team in baseball right now. All right, we've talked a lot of sports content, college football, NFL, baseball, all of that. I wanted to lighten the mood, play some games really quick to maybe end off the episode there. I'm thinking that we're going to play Wavelength, and then we're going to play Career Path. So basically, if you don't know what Wavelength is, one person picks a number out of 10, and the other person decides like categories, and you just give them different things on that category that you think are relative to that number.
You guys will see it as we play it. You'll start to understand it.
So I'll start it off with a number. Peter, can you cover your ears? Okay, Peter's walked away, and the number I'm gonna pick is 9. Okay, we're good. Okay,
I'm back.
all right. Start us off, Peter.
Name a college football school.
A college football school. I'm gonna go with Michigan.
Okay, so I'm thinking in terms of like if they're good or not.
All time.
Okay, I'm thinking like a 9 or a 10.
Okay.
Name a NFL starting quarterback.
NFL starting quarterback. I'll go with Josh Allen.
Okay, I'm thinking a 9 right now.
All right. We'll see.
Okay. Name an NBA team.
I'll just give you the Celtics.
Okay, I'm gonna lock it in 9.
Yeah, that's a 9. A little easy round to start with. I'm gonna leave now. And Peter will give you a number.
Okay. All right, so the number is 6.
Okay. All right, Peter. Can you name me a? Let's think. Name me an all-time MVP, like just based on the season they had as an MVP
For NFL?
yeah.
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan. Well, like honestly, I'm thinking sub 5, but he played really good that season and they made it to the Super Bowl. I'm sticking at that 4-5 range. So, hey, Peter, give me a rookie last season.
I'm gonna have to go with Brian Robinson Jr. on the Commanders.
I honestly didn't even know he was a rookie last year. He played pretty good. I mean, was Antonio Gibson injured last year? He was like the RB1 for the Commanders, I think.
Yeah,
last year,
he played most of the year.
I think that brings it up to like a 6. So I'm thinking around the 6 range, but taking into account Matt Ryan. Yeah, that sounds like a 6 actually, now that I think about it. All right, give me a former Super Bowl like matchup.
Matchup like
Like
what the result was?
Like the game, yeah.
Oh, okay. Give me the Chiefs versus the 49ers in 2020.
That was
a
a pretty good Super Bowl. That was the one where it was close. The 49ers were up by like 10, and then the Chiefs came back. And then Damian Williams sealed the game with the dagger. That was a good Super Bowl. Okay, wait. I'm thinking above 5. I'm thinking 6 or 7. Let's go with the. Let me think. You got Matt Ryan, and then what else did I ask? And then you got Brian Robinson. Give me 6.
Yep.
Let's go. All right, now Peter. We're gonna do one more round. Okay, Peter's leaving the room. Okay, the number is gonna be. We just did 9 and 6. I'm just gonna come back with a 8. All right, we're good.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Name me an No. Name me an NFL cornerback.
Cornerback. I'm thinking James Bradbury.
All or current?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to 7 on that one. He's a pretty good corner.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say he's elite. Okay, give me an all-time NFL team. Like specific year.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty hard. I think I would go with the 2014 Seahawks.
Okay, that team made it to the Super Bowl. So they were a great team. Obviously, everyone knows they were a yard away. So I think that brings it up to an 8.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't think a 9 because all time there were some better teams out there, but I'm going to give it an 8. Okay. Give me a Heisman winner, a past Heisman Trophy winner.
I'm gonna go with Heisman winner. Let's just go with Devontae Smith.
Okay, he had a great season. I mean, first receiver to win it in almost 20 years, or I think more than 20. So I'm gonna lock it in 8.
Correct. It
Let's
was an
go
8.
3 for 3.
All right, last one. Let's go.
Okay. Francis is leaving the room. Okay, so the number we're giving him is 2. Okay, come back.
Okay. I'm gonna try to get some harder ones here. We've been, doing it too easily. So, give me a offensive lineman. Current.
Oh, okay. This is kind of cheating, but this is a specific year of a certain lineman. Give me George Fant with the Seahawks. That one year he was with them when he got signed off the practice squad, I think it was.
What the hell? That guy was very bad. George, wait, let me think back. Well, okay. Back when we had Russell Wilson back in those days, it was probably 2018, 2017 when we had George Fant. Our offensive line was not good. I don't know if that was before Dwayne Brown.
It was.
I think it was before Dwayne Brown. I don't remember him being too great. I'm going with a 2 or 3. 2 or 3. Okay, next up, can you give me a current NFL head coach?
Oh, okay. This isn't current, but I mean he coached last year.
Okay.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Cliff Kingsbury. I wouldn't really call him a bad head coach per se. He's been on some really good teams. Texas Tech.
I mean, Texas Tech did not do that well when he was there. They had a losing record.
Okay, you're you can't really put any input after.
I'm not. I'm just stating facts here.
I mean, obviously the Cardinals were the worst team in the NFL. They're projected to be the worst team again because Kyler is out. Sticking with the 3 in that 3 range. Maybe I'm thinking 2 to 4, possibly.
Okay. Last question.
Last question. Give me a football city.
Oh, this is good.
Like not just for football, like just like as like a city.
For like just a city in general.
That has a team.
Jacksonville, Florida.
All right, it's a 2 or 3.
What's your final guess?
2.
2.
Let's go!
4 for 4. That was super successful.
I thought it was gonna be a 3 based on his reaction, but good turn of events. All right, we're gonna play one more game. Let's play some career path. This one will be a little short. Gonna end the episode at probably like 30 minutes. So it's just gonna be strictly for Peter. I got a list here of some career paths. So let's just we'll start off easier and then maybe get a little harder. So first up, we got Giants to Browns to Rams to Ravens.
Okay, so I think that's pretty easy. It's Odell Beckham Jr.
Yep, that's correct. Okay, moving on, we got Bills to Seahawks to Raiders back to Seahawks.
Marshawn Lynch.
Yep, okay. All right, we got Broncos to Dolphins to Bears to Jets to Giants to Seahawks. Not current player.
Say that again.
Broncos, Dolphins, Bears, Jets, Giants, Seahawks. Wide receiver. Not current.
Oh. Was Texans in there?
No.
Okay. Oh. Broncos to Dolphins
To Bears.
to Bears.
I'll say those 3 teams are his most notable teams.
Can you tell me when this player played?
2006 to 2018.
Okay. Brandon Marshall.
Yeah, it's Brandon Marshall. All right. Next up, we got started off with the Rams, went to the Bengals, went to the Bills, went to the Titans, Texans, Jets, Buccaneers, Dolphins, ended off his career with the Commanders.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Well, that was fast.
I just knew he started with the Rams, and then when you name that many teams, it was kind of easy.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, when you think of journeyman, that's who you think of. All right, I'm going to do 2 more. Second to last guy started off with the Vikings, went to the Cardinals, went to the Saints, went to the Commanders, went to the Lions, then went to Titans, then Seahawks.
Okay, started off with the Cardinals.
Vikings.
And then
Cardinals, Saints, Commanders, Lions, Tennessee, Seahawks.
Can you tell me what position they play?
No.
I need a hint. I'm officially
Running back.
Running back. Started with the Cardinals.
Vikings.
Oh, Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, okay. That's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Last guy, I'm not going to lie, this is pretty hard. Start off with the Bills. Most notable on the Bills, I'll tell you that. He's a quarterback. Went to the Raiders, then ended off with the Bears.
Is he a current player?
I saw him in preseason this year.
Started with the Bills, then the Raiders, then the Bears.
Yep.
Quarterback. I don't think he's a starter because you said he was hard.
Well, he has started games, though, for the Bills.
For the Bills. Okay. Bills starting quarterbacks. Josh Allen, Tyrod Taylor, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He has your name and his last name.
Nathan Peterman.
Yep. All right. So that's going to round off this episode. Thanks so much for listening all the way through. We're going to be, now that the football season is coming up starting next week, we're going to be uploading weekly, hopefully. So, yeah, thank you for listening all the way through. Anything I got to say, Peter?
Make sure to follow us and tune in to the next episode.
Yep, thank you.